All right, welcome back, everyone. This is your host, Ray Hansen. We're here live at Sullivan Farms and Sullivan's at Sullivan Farm in Sullivan, Illinois, at Mike Durbin's farm here and Q Shop. And here, this was the lag. Chuck Raulston and Landon Shufett. Chuck Raulston has won the lag. He'll be leading us off. This is a race to 4. This is one of 32 matches that will be played here at the Durbin Cup. Chuck Raulston, originally out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, living in Poplar Bluff right now. Nine does not count on the brake at all, and it's a race to 4. Here we go. Chuck Raulston poised to take rack number 1 here. Chuck playing for the Durbin Destroyers. He's going to have to take a little bit tougher angle on the 6 ball here and come around maybe 3 rails on the 7. Nicely done. Now he could just draw a little bit out for this and come back and forth across the table that way. That's what he did. He's ended up pretty tough here on the 7 ball. Sliced and diced. Yeah, it was a great shot from Chuck Raulston, and he fell nicely on the 9 ball to close out rack number 1. 1-0, Durbin Destroyers. I believe the score is currently 2-0. Currently, I believe the Durbin Destroyers have won both of the first matches here, and we're on the second round right now. We will play a total of 32 matches regardless of if one team or the other goes to 17 first. And joining us one more time, Mr. Mark Wilson, captain for the Lindenwood Lions. Welcome, Mark.
It's always great to be alongside you, Ray Dog.
Thanks.
Landon Shufett set the break here on the TV table. On the other table, we have Bivor Sarista versus Serena Black. Bivor is a Lindenwood Lion, hails from Nepal as well. Landon Shufett, powerful break, 7 ball on the wing. See how much time he takes aiming the break here, Ray? Yeah.
And he hit it square. But the cue ball got away. Let the cue ball drop to the bottom.
The wing ball went in the corner. The one ball went in the side. The two balls down table. The cue ball got a little low. Yeah, he missed the head ball just a little dab. Might be a push-out situation.
Tell us a little bit about what your strategies are for teaching these players to break better.
Well, breaking is, it's power, power comes from a long swing, and it's a shot that you have to practice, much like the tee shot in golf. So, we do use a radar gun, but we don't start with a radar gun. We start with technique, and we work up to it. We go half speed to begin with, and try to get good form with your stroke and follow through. And then once we get the form sound where they can start to hit the head ball square,
start bringing the speed up,
right? And we ease into it. But so it's not brute force. Accuracy trumps power. But ultimately, if you can keep the power, keep the accuracy, then the power does mean something. So, and it's pretty interesting. We have a lot of fun doing it. So we practice the break, and not as religiously as we probably should, but we have so many other things to conquer. But oftentimes what we'll do is we'll put 2 players per table, and we will break. And sometimes we make a competition out of it. One will rack 3 racks for one, then the other one, and they switch back and forth, and we will keep track of the times that they successfully break without scratching. And then we'll have kind of a competition amongst the team who gets the highest figure, and they'll go back and forth 3 or 4 times. And then sometimes, one of the most interesting things, and this is aside from the break, is we look on, Landon have to kick 2 cushions maybe, is that we use the radar gun for stop shots. And it's fascinating how powerful of a tool it is. And what it is that a pro from the head string to the foot string straight in can shoot a stop shot 7.2 miles per hour down to 6.6. An amateur with a cruder stroke has to hit the cue ball higher, and they're routinely double figures, quite often 11 or 12 miles per hour. Even a mid-level league player will hit it crude. Now, either one will stop the ball, and either one will make the ball. But the margin of error that comes with a 6.6 versus a 11 or 12 mile per hour is probably about almost double. And so, like when Efren, you see him hit it, and you'll hear his cue ting from that range, and it'll be no speed whatsoever. His margin of error, the pocket ends up playing about 12 to 14 inches wide as it comes down the rail.
Just because he's hitting it slower?
Yeah, because it doesn't depress the rubber and bounce away. Like when you rifle one down there and barely miss it, goes da-da-da-da-da like that, and then spits out.
Right.
His, it goes dun and just kind of wobbles and falls in.
Falls on in, yeah.
So if you routinely have a margin, if Efren has a pocket that's, say, 14 inches wide and your pocket's 8 inches wide, you know for sure at the end of the day who wins, don't you?
Right. That's right.
And so we scouted out, and realistically, anything sub 8 is pretty good. My players are not quite as proficient because they don't have the time to train. They're trying to get an education, and it is actually hard. But if you're up there near double digits, that's not good enough to play at this level.
Yeah, interesting.
We do it with the Moscone Cup players, and it's surprising how they're pros, and some of them don't even understand that fully, but they do now when they come. But
yeah,
it's
what a fantastic experience, for players of all levels to come up and visit Lindenwood University and check out some of the programs you have going on.
It's inspiring for them, but it's also very motivating and inspiring for me too. This just to give you an idea, this year we've had Archer, Morris, Woodward, Black Widow was there a week ago. We've had this week Allison Fisher's coming for the entire week. And they train
Nick Varner.
They come and they actually train with the team while they're there. And they're included in just like the regular practice as well as it's really interesting for my players. It's great for both sides. Scott Frost was there recently. Chuck Raulston looking really solid here. Chuck is a serious dude. He plays in all the biggest matches and the big entry fees, little entry fees. He doesn't care. Whatever he can play in is all good.
Great player. Good guy, too.
Look at Mike Durbin is now administering drugs to his team here. I know it says ibuprofen, but there's no way.
All right, now these are for me.
Well, Raulston fall a little funny on the 9. And he hit it. No, he overcut it. Missed it on the pro side. Left a little bit tough now. Landon really needs to slice this one thin and kind of steal the game. Great background songs here. Landon looks like he's queuing up to bank this. Like the way he aims it careful. He's from Kentucky. Figures to give this bank a good go. Nope. That was that tough.
Yeah, it hopped on him. Hopped off the rail. Chuck Raulston. A little dog leg here.
Yeah, a little tester here. If you wiggle your body on this one, that'll ruin it. So we get a good shot of that looking at this camera angle if he moves his head. And he drilled it home.
Split
Well
the
done.
wicket. And that gives Chuck a 2-game lead, 2-0 over Landon Shufett. But as we all know, you can never count Landon out.
Anybody at this level that's in this match today can come back from any score because we're only going to 4, and that can be just 1 or 2 innings.
Well, do you keep like a status chart of your players, or where they can, try to move up through the rankings?
Yeah, we
somehow,
don't. It's a good question, and we did for a little while. We kind of had like a power rankings of the team. We use that sometimes, but we also don't want to dissuade any of my incoming players or up and coming players. And frankly, some of them, the workload at school is significant. And so sometimes they have jobs, and sometimes they have late classes, and sometimes they need a little tutoring, which we have. And so it's a kind of a fractured, convoluted. It's not like practices at 4, everyone be there. We don't do it that way. We break it into 6 practices, and you take 2 of them per week, and we match your schedule. But even that gets sometimes fractured. So we all kind of know from all our competitions, inter-team, the pecking order. But
so keeping a chart really wasn't a fair
no,
way to.
It was also laborious, and it really didn't have any validity because of sometimes one person only being able to make 2 practices, and here's another guy been at 6. And so
right.
You keep numbers, and it was kind of weird, but. Yeah, it's not like really having a real pro team type of a thing. And we have some core members that are there every day, and we have some that only come semi-frequently.
Looks like Chuck's got a shot on this 2-ball mark, and if he does, this table's wide open here.
And he's down crouching, so it's close to hitting the 6. I think he's going to have to. He's thinking about just clipping the top edge of the 2 and trying to play safe, but it's awkward, and there's nothing easy, and the table's wide open.
It's kind of a funny angle as well.
He's respectful of Landon Shufett's ability. He knows Landon Shufett can play for sure, so he knows he has to be mindful. He doesn't want to make an unforced error and give away a game here and take away from, he wants to protect this 2-game lead rather than possibly give one away and have it quickly translated into 2 or 3 games. So he's going to push out. No, he's going to kick. No, he's pushing out. Okay. Well, Landon will take this. And I'm not saying he will play offense. I'm just saying that when it's clear like this and you can do something, you just cannot afford to put the other guy back in because he's got nothing to lose. He has to play, and so they can take a little bit more risk with that.
It's a pretty tough spot. He's giving it back.
Okay, well, I figure that Chuck is going to shoot at this and take advantage of the possibility of making it, and the secondary possibility that not easily seen, but is felt, the backdoor safety, whereby you fire at this 2-ball at medium speed, and then the 2-ball often settles over behind the 5 when you miss it, and the cue ball's over by the 7 when you miss it. So. Well, let's see. Does he get a backdoor safety? No, he's not going to, I don't think. He didn't. Okay.
Yeah, Landon's got his best opportunity yet in this match.
Well, you guys got great background music here, too. Now we got David Bowie going on. That was the Kinks just a minute ago. I am jamming out here.
Well, this is the radio station, the local radio station, and Mike said they have their moments.
Good shot, Landon. Good shot. Landon, two-time current National Collegiate Billiards champion.
No kidding.
Yep. He's tied with Nick Varner, Max Eberle. Who else?
Raymond Linares?
No, Ray's got 3.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's one of the only. There's only three-time winners of that. It's a pretty good brand of competition too. It's not an easy thing to win. For those watching at home that want to learn a little something about playing a high-performance pool, Landon Shuffett's a visual approach to each shot. Watch the eye movement, see how still, see how he lays over the ball and really locks in. It's not a superficial eye movement, but it's more of a gaze, where he really tries to glean some information, and it's so powerful. And you watch like a Allison Fisher, or you watch like a Buddy Hall or something, the approach into the shot, they've already made it. Once they lock down on it, they've already made the ball at that point. They're not down there jockeying your cue. If they set up on it and don't like it, they stand back up and start over. See how his eye movement right there, right now, bang. Right before he moves the stick at all, he doesn't come swinging into it, but locks down on it. And if you're not used to it, Ray, it bleeds off energy at an astonishing rate to do that when you constantly do that with your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But later on, you become familiar with that workload, and then that's the only way you know how to play, and then that's how you get to be one of these high-level players that these guys are. See the eyes looking at us right now?
Uh-oh.
And that hurt. That hurt. Bobbled the ball. These are Gold Crown 5, Tour Edition, factory set, small pockets. Cloth's a little bit broke in. Brand new cloth. Hey, maybe that drops in anyway. He didn't hit it pure, though. Kind of a funny story talking about our shirts earlier. We ordered these shirts, and they're custom made for us. And they're not Adidas sponsored. A good shot there by Chuck. And so we were at the Nationals, and we had the shirts that I'm wearing, just the Adidas polo type shirts with a little embroidery and everything, rather than the sublimated state-of-the-art stuff. Raulston moves 3-0 in front. And so we're at the Nationals, and this year some of the other teams rolled in with Adidas shirts like this, nice. And some of the guys go, "Hey, coach, look at the other teams got these shirts," and ours were on order. We were hoping to have our new ones for this. And I go, yeah, they've caught up with us, but not for long. And all our guys love it. We are for real. That way we have a great appearance.
Now, these shirts that the players are wearing here today, these are these Ultimate Team Gear shirts?
Yep.
And is Ultimate Team Gear also the official shirt of the Moscone Cup this year?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, they're really comfortable. Mike gave me one of the Durbin Destroyers shirts, and very comfortable.
Very light, very easy to play in. They breathe.
Your motion is not restricted at all, too. It's very,
Yeah.
You almost feel like you don't have a shirt on.
Landon locks down the break.
Rack 4.
Hit him well. One ball got a kiss down table. Now he can do some damage here.
Yeah, he's pocketed a 2 ball and has a shot on the 1. Well, there's been a lot of discussion, obviously, about this year's Moscone Cup team, and we are here already in October. And I guess the event coming up, the U.S. Open, is that the final points event this year, Mark?
Yes, it is. Yeah, and it has like a higher rate of points. I don't know how to measure, but let's suppose it's probably about double or maybe 2.5 times what a bar table event produces.
So literally, the team is going to be largely decided by the U.S. Open. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, yeah. Last year too, really, that changed things around. Landon made a nice shot, and currently Shane Van Moning has locked up his position. No one can catch him even if Shane doesn't play in the U.S. Open, and anyone else would win it.
How about if he doesn't even play in the U.S.
That's what I'm saying. If he doesn't even show up, he still won the points for the tour.
Wow.
And in second place currently, Mike DeShane has 46 points, and then followed closely by Corey Dool at 45 points.
No kidding.
And then Bergman and Woodward are right behind them.
Wow.
And then Dominguez, Oscar, Frost, Scott. Jeremy Saucy's in there. Did I say Sky Woodward?
You did.
Okay. Who else? A number of guys are right hotly in the mix here. So if somebody has a real good tournament, they can easily earn their way into it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But they are facing a deficit. Oh, Landon let the cue ball get loose into the side as he made the 4. It's going to be doom.
I noticed a few of the players that were taking a run for the points got shut out of the U.S. Open. Weren't able to get. I guess they didn't get their entries in time.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Well, when you say a few, I know Justin Hall didn't, but he's pretty far down the points list, and I think he's going to be in the U.S. Open anyway because there was a couple players that are on the list currently as paid.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the final result, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought. How about Brandon? Was he in the running? Did he have a
Brandon
chance?
Schuff, oh yeah, he's definitely got enough points that he could definitely make a deep run here if he could have a real good Open.
I wonder if he got on the standby list. I know he didn't make his entry in time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, that's weird. Well, Chuck Raulston.
You know, when
nice.
when the U.S. Open, when did they decide to go to the smaller fields instead of? Didn't they used to be a 256-man field?
Yeah, it was last year. They went to a slightly smaller field, and surprisingly, well, not really, totally surprisingly, Raulston's going to pocket the 9 and win 4-0.
That's it.
That puts the Durbin Destroyers ahead 3-0. They only had 126 of the 128-man field, and I was there to do the broadcast and observe for the Moscone Cup, and they were saying, "You're going to play, aren't you?" I go, "No, I am not going to play." It's like,
to fill the field.
I guess, I'd played it years back, but it has been a couple of years there now. The Destroyers now move out to a 3-0 lead here in the early stages. 32 matches.
All right, well, we're going to get that one saved. And do we know who our next match is yet?
We do. It's going to be from Memphis, Tennessee. This guy's a talent, Rob Saez for the Destroyers.
Robin Hood.
And versus our champion, Sharik Syed.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, we're going to get that one saved, and we'll be right back with more action from the Durbin Cup here, folks. Don't go far.